Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Homemade. And today, you all, we are making another very simple cookie. And it is the oatmeal raisin cookie. And it is similar to our oatmeal cookie. The only thing is we are going to add raisins into this. Now, I don't add nuts into mine, but if you want to add nuts, feel free. This recipe, it'll just be the oatmeals and the raisin. And again, you all know in this bowl, I do have my 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I did add my 2 tablespoons of corn starch. I added my 1 tablespoon of baking soda, and I added my pinch of salt because I am using salted butter. Now, I do have 2 sticks of salted butter that I melted in the microwave and I let it come back to room temperature. I'm going to use my 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. They are also at room temperature. 1 cup of brown sugar, and we're going to use 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. We're also going to use 1/3 cup of oatmeal, regular oatmeal, nothing special about it. Now, we are going to use, this is how I like to measure my raisins because I don't like to have so many in there. If you want more raisins, feel free. But I just typically buy the pack with about 6 1-ounce box in there. And I put 1 box of raisins into my cookies. That's enough for me. If you want more, feel free to add more. We are going to use our 1 teaspoon of butter flavor, 2 tablespoons of vanilla, and we are going to use a pinch of cinnamon. So now that we went over all of our ingredients, let's go ahead and start mixing up our cookie dough. You can refrigerate this for 30 minutes and pull it out, pop it into your 325-degree oven, and the cookies come out awesome. I just like to let my cookie dough sit at least for some period of time to let all the flavors kind of mesh in there really well and combine. So again, we're going to go ahead and get started with combining our butter and our sugars in this bowl, and then we'll add those to our flour. Add in both of my sugars, and I'm also going to put in my butter. We're going to whisk this in really well. Our sugar and our butter is combined. We'll go ahead and add in our eggs, our flavor. This is our butter flavor. And I am kind of eyeing it. I'm not really measuring it. I'll go ahead, add in my vanilla. And I want to whisk that in really well. Now, if you'll notice, I am not using a mixer. I am using my whisk, and it works perfectly well. This is how our butter and sugar mixture should look. We're going to go ahead. I went ahead and mixed in my flour just a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my spoon. And this is where I will put in my cinnamon and my oatmeal. Make sure you stir that in really well. So I've already switched over to my spoon, you all, and as you can see, our cookie dough has come together really well. Now I'll go ahead and add in my box of raisins. And if you were measuring this, you could easily put in 1/4 cups of raisins. Mix in our raisins. And we're going to go ahead and refrigerate this, you all, Pop it into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Now, our oatmeal raisin cookies have been chilling in the fridge for about 30 minutes. I pulled them out a few minutes ago, just let them sit on the counter for about 1 or 2 minutes. And now we're going to start preparing them to go into the oven. My oven is already preheated to 325 degrees. And if you can see, I'm just taking the size of my ice cream scoop. I'm not rolling them up in a perfect ball. If you want to roll yours into a perfect ball, that is totally fine. And I'm going to put about 6 cookies on here. And we're going to let these cook. And it typically takes anywhere from 15 to 18 minutes for these to cook thoroughly. After that, we'll let them cool for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then we're going to come back, you all, and we are going to sample. They have cooked, they have cooled, and you all, it is now time to sample these delicious cookies. But if you can just look at them, they smell so good. And it's just the oatmeal with the cinnamon and the raisin smell, you all, it is out of this world. So we are going to go ahead and sample one of these, but I just want you to see that our cookies are not hard at all. They are crispy around the edges, but they are soft on the inside. So let's go ahead. Yeah, this cookie, you as I told you, I didn't put nuts in here, but if you want to put nuts and elevate the flavor, if you want to put more raisins in yours and elevate the flavor a little more, you can, but I promise you, if you don't, you will not be disappointed. These cookies are good. And when I say the inside is so chewy, and then when you make it to the outside, like the crispiness and the chewiness together, oh, it's out of this world. Out of this world. You when you make these cookies, because I know you will, make sure post your pictures, post your comments in the comment section below. I want to get your feedback. Let me know if you like the cookies, if you didn't like the cookies, if you would change something about the cookies. But I promise you, if you try this recipe just the way that I gave it to you, you will not be disappointed. If you want to keep seeing our easy homemade recipes, make sure you like, subscribe, and share our content. Now, as I always say, cooking is as easy or as hard as you make it. But I promise you, if you just keep it simple, be yourself, life in itself can be so much easier. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Homemade. And until next time, continue to be great.